He pled guilty to perjury. Out front now, Democratic Congressman from California, Ted Lieu, who sits on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, thanks very much for your time. I want to just, this report out from the Washington Post. George Papadopoulos, of course, the Trump campaign has said that he was nothing more than a coffee boy. President Trump called him a low-level volunteer. What's your reaction to tonight's development that he was communicating with the deputy communications director and doing interviews to try to push the U.S. strategic partnership with Russia 2 months before the election?
Thank you, Erin, for your question. Trump campaign official Papadopoulos had advanced knowledge that the Russians had Hillary Clinton's emails. So one of the questions is who else in the Trump campaign knew about that? And for the longest time, Trump officials said he was just a low-level staffer or a coffee boy. This Washington Post article shows that they were lying. He had direct communications not only with the deputy press secretary, but also with high-level campaign officials such as Michael Flynn, Steve Bannon, and Sam Clovis, a then campaign co-chairman. And they should all be scared because Papadopoulos is cooperating with the special counsel now.
I mean, this also comes, as you know, as President Trump is shaking up his legal team. The attorney in charge, John Dowd, quit. Joe DeGeneva, who accused the FBI and DOJ of framing Trump, is in. And obviously very much in the Trump line of thinking. Steve Bannon, Trump's former chief strategist, says this is all a sign Trump is going to war with Mueller. Here's how he put it just last night.
I think President Trump's going to war. I think it's very obvious he's going to go to war in this.
Is he right? He was talking about Mueller specifically. Do you think the president's going to war with Mueller?
Absolutely, in terms of his tweets and public statements. I'm also on the House Judiciary Committee, and we held a press conference this week showing that that is a red line. If Donald Trump fires Mueller or fires Rosenstein to meddle with Mueller or fires Attorney General Sessions to meddle with Mueller, those are impeachable offenses, and I believe that people would take to the streets because that is something that violates the rule of law and is massive obstruction of justice.
Do your Republican colleagues, when you've had your private conversations with them on your committee, do they agree with you? It's impeachable?
It turns out that when Republican members retire, they tend to show more courage. So we've seen some courage coming out from retiring Republicans. Senator Jeff Flake has also said that it'd be an impeachable offense if Mueller got fired by Donald Trump. And so you're seeing people like Trey Gowdy also stand up and say that Robert Mueller needs to be allowed to continue and finish his job.
The fired Deputy FBI Director Andrew Mccabe has just written an op-ed for the Washington Post. It's literally out. I'm looking at it now. He says, not in my worst nightmares did I dream my FBI career would end this way. He continues, Congressman Lieu, to deny having a, quote, lack of candor, right, which is what he was accused by in the Inspector General report, right, that went to the HR, essentially at the FBI, right? So this is a nonpartisan conclusion. They concluded he had a lack of candor. He writes, I did not knowingly mislead or lie to investigators. At worst, I was not clear in my responses. And because of what was going on around me, may well have been confused and distracted. And for that, I take full responsibility. But that is not a lack of candor. He does admit, I didn't knowingly mislead. At worst, I was not clear. And he gives reasons as to why that may have been the case. Is it possible he really might be in the wrong here, Congressman?
It's possible. I interviewed Andrew Mccabe as part of a closed-door House Judiciary hearing. I call my Republican colleagues to release their full transcript. I think the American people should see what he said. But based on the public reporting as well as his statements and his op-ed, it looks like this is an issue regarding what happened regarding Hillary Clinton's campaign and how he may or may not have released damaging information about her campaign. That has nothing to do with the Mueller probe into Russia, and it's unfortunate the president's trying to use the Mccabe firing to somehow diminish the special counsel. They're completely unrelated.
All right. Thank you very much, Congressman.